Yenopasristatpurusha loka uddivijate brusham na buddhastam vasham gachat pichanna bayam atmanaha. Yena, by which Upasristat, being overwhelmed, Purusat, by the person, Lokaha, everyone, Uddivijate, become terrified, Darshan, greatly, na, never, Buddha, a learned person, that of anger, Vasam, under the control, Gachat, should go, Ichan, desiring, Abhayam, fearlessness, liberation, Atmanaha, of the self. Translation: a person who desires liberation from this material world should not fall under the control of anger, because when bewildered by anger, one becomes a source of dread for all others. Please respond. A person who desires liberation from this material world should not fall under the control of anger, because when bewildered by anger, one becomes a source of dread for all others. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. A devotee or saintly person should not be dreadful to others, nor should anyone be a source of dread to him. If one treats others with non-enmity, is that the word? Then no one will become his enemy. There is this example, however, of Jesus Christ who had enemies and they crucified him. The demonic are always present and they find fault even in saintly persons. But a saintly person never becomes angry, even if there is very great provocation. Om Ajnanatimidandasya Jnanam Janashalakaya Chakshuzanmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Satpitam Jena Bhutale Swam Rupa Kadaman Vidati Swakadam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Chur Shri Rupam Sakajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Saji Shadvitam Shavadutam Parajanam Sahitam Krishna Chaitam Dem Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lita Shri Vishakam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Shavano Sutta Devi Pranamami Hare Priya Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhuve vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Namaram Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Utale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Satarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shri Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we have been discussing this anger for some weeks now, talking about anger. Anger is not a very good quality. Swayambhu Manu is trying to explain this to his son Durga, grandson. Right? Anger is explained here. Srimad Bhagavatam, says in this verse, we cannot control the force of our anger. Therefore, when we look at material things, we cannot avoid feeling attraction or repulsion for them. But the Supreme Lord is never affected in this way. Although He glances over the material world for the purpose of creating, maintaining and destroying it, He is not affected even to the slightest degree. Therefore, one who desires to conquer the force of the senses must take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Then he will be victorious. So I see this point here, anger is very difficult to control. We cannot control the force of anger. It's not an easy thing to control. Right? Yes? It's also said in another verse, O soul of the universe, the conditioning of one's personality and material life is very strong. And therefore it is very difficult even for learned man to tolerate the offences committed against them by ignorant people. Only your devotees who are fixed in your loving service and who have achieved peace by residing at your lotus feet are able to tolerate such offences. See the point? So anger is not something that you can just try to deal. In fact, Krishna has warned us that the famous verse, Kama Esha, Krodha Esha, Rajaguna Samudra. Yes? What is the result of Kama Esha? Krodha Esha. Yes? Krodha is what? Right? Krishna said this is what? What is that verse? 337. Krishna is saying this is the Bhagavan Vacha. Kama Esha, Krodha Esha. See? Rajaguna Samudbhavaha Mahasano Mahapama Viti Enam Eva Vairinam. This is your enemy. So what is the enemy? Last and anger. Yes? Purport, translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, it is last only Arjuna which is born in contact with material mode of passion, later transformed into wrath, anger. and which is the all-devouring sinful enemy of this world. You see this point? So anger is coming from the mode of passion and understand? Well, of course you know this verse, I'm sure you know. Very famous. We have, all of you quote this all the time, I think, yes? Dhyayato vishayam pumsam sangate shupajayate sangat sanjayate kama kama krodha. So that this is how it develops. Because Krishna says from mode of passion it comes. How does it develop? It's explained here. While contemplating the object, the senses, a person develops attachment from them, and from such attachment lust develops. That means passion already starts. You understand? So when passion develops lust, then lust, anger arises. I'm sure you. And then the next verse, you know what happens next. Krodhat bhavati sammoha. Illusion. From anger, complete delusion arises. Delusion, bewilderment of memory. Memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost, and intelligence is lost, one falls down again to the material plane. You follow this point? How it is going? Of course, this is also explained in the 11th canto, 11:21. You see how Krishna explained this to Uddhava a little bit different, but it's same, you know. When one accepts material sense objects as desirable, certainly become attached to them. From such attachment, lust arises, and this lust creates quarreling among men. Quarreling starts from anger, right? Isn't the point? He explains it, but see how all world is quarreling. Now India and China, they are quarreling. Right? So everybody. Then what happens in the next verse? From quarreling arises intolerable anger. From quarrel arises intolerable anger. Followed by the darkness of ignorance. This ignorance quickly overtakes a man's broad intelligence. So certainly Uddhava, a person bereft of real intelligence, considered to have lost everything, deviated from the actual purpose of life, it becomes dull, just like a dead person. That means although living, is no use living. See how the consequence goes. That's why we are asked to become Brahminical. Sama, Dhamma. You know, first thing is Sama, Dhamma. What is Sama, Dhamma? Control of the senses, control of the mind. Why? Because if we don't control the mind, then these things will happen. This thing will come. You follow me? This is a very important point. Anger is so difficult to control. You know, as it was also, I think in 11:23, they'll fight even for some coins. 11:23. Family members, just for coins. You know, that much. I think 11:23, what's that? See? So, anger has to be managed. The next question, you have to manage it, yes? It's not that you don't get angry. Everybody gets angry. Here, like here, example, Dhruva Maharaj is getting angry, right? Lord Shiva got angry. Durga got angry. I mean, the whole Bhagavatam, you can see stories of every one of them angry, yes? Krishna also got angry. Yes or no? Lord Ram got angry. Correct? Correct? So, how you manage anger? I think it is explained in the fourth canto when Sati was about to immolate herself. You know, I'll pick out that verse. What is that? For what? Sati is about to immolate herself. For? Uh, 12:3. 12:3:41. You can read this. I think there's also in 11:23. You didn't see 11:23? Not there. Because the Brahmin got angry. Can you read, please?
Man will develop hatred for each other even over 2 points. Giving up all friendly relations, they will be ready to lose their own lives and kill even their own relatives.
So here, uh, 4:4. 4:4, what verse? There's a verse just now I was reading. 4 what? You know, for the Brahmin, he has to close he cannot argue, cannot kill himself. He has to 4:4:17. So here you see how different personalities have to act differently. Sati continues, if 1 year an irresponsible person blasphemes the master and control of religion, one should block his ears and go away, unable to punish him. But if one is able to kill, then one should by force cut out the blasphemous tongue and kill the offender. And after that one should give up his own life. So here it is explained, if one is a Brahmana, he should not give up his body, because by doing so he will be responsible for killing a Brahmana. That Brahmana should leave the place or block his ears so that he will not hear blasphemy. If one is happened to be a Kshatriya, he has the power to punish any man. Therefore, Kshatriya should at once cut out the tongue of the vilifier and kill him. But as far as the Vaishyas and Sudras are concerned, they should immediately give up their bodies. Sati decided to give up her body because she thought herself to be among the Sudras and Vaishyas. So I see a different category how anger is managed. Right. Now there are different situations. Here something has happened to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva was quiet. He was not aggressive. But when the devotee, his wife Shiva killed herself, right? Then Lord Shiva became extremely angry. Yes? Correct? So he acted differently. He went and he cut the head off. Yes? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got angry. When they were blaspheming, he kept quiet. But when Nityananda Prabhu got attacked, he got angry, he went to kill giant. Yes? Correct? And immediately Nityananda Prabhu pacified him and they too offended. They asked for forgiveness. Yes? Then it was okay. Right? Sati, she could not kill her father. That's not possible. So she killed herself. Yeah, how she managed the anger. Durga, she was very angry with this Mahisasura, I think. She got so angry, killed, And she was going, and to stop her, Lord Shiva had to lie down. And when she touched the body of Lord Shiva, her tongue came out, and she stopped. Yes? You look blank. You know the stuff? Don't know. That management is different. Correct? Everywhere the management of anger is a little different. Are you following? So many cases, so many examples. Sadhus, when they get angry, what they do? They curse. What is Narada Muni, famous? Who? He cursed who? No, the two sons of Kuvera. And because sadhus always, their anger is always what? Merciful. Some or other it is not anything with the sadhu is always again. So they got a chance to see Krishna, so many things. But a non-devotee tried to do anger like Durvasha Muni. He tried to attack the Vaishnava. What happened? The consequence is different. Same anger, but he got what? Of course, he got a lesson of his life. Never try that with the devotee. Correct? You see that situation. Are you following? Hanuman got angry. He burned up Lanka. Lakshmi got angry with, Sita got angry with Ram. Finish. Draupadi got angry with the Kauravas. Finish. You see how anger, all anger, the whole thing. There are so many examples. So many examples. The whole Bhagavatam is full of them. See how anger is detrimental. Of course, in our life we are also getting angry every now and then. Yes? So we should not try to use anger. Anger has to be managed. But if one who is not a devotee, then he cannot manage his anger. As we have read, anger leads to bewildered memory goes like that, and he fall down. Yes? But the devotee has got a safe catch. What is a safe catch? He has his spiritual master. He has it. That is his controlling factor. Like here, that Swayambhuva Manu is in one way also one of the authorities, yes. He ran and told, don't do this, not good, this, right? Okay. Whereas if he's not a devotee, then there's no checking in. He goes angry, out of control. In fact, he goes bewildered, killing it, so many problems. Yes, there's a difference between a devotee and non-devotee. You understand? So here, although he was angry because his brother was killed, in a way his brother was a devotee also. So, anger, so angry, he killed. In fact, in one part of it, he was encouraged to be more angry also. When he was bewildered, the sages came and told him, you please think of the lotus feet of Krishna and this. Yes, and then when the killing was going on more and more, finally his grandfather came, please, now you stop. You see how? One situation, two different things. Yes? Are you following? And now he's telling, you should have, cannot use excessive anger, you stop. Pull off. So he said, okay, I stop. So that means the devotee's anger is always under, it's not a, like same thing, okay, Arjuna's case. Krishna wanted to get this war going. Arjuna was not fighting to his match. So Krishna made arrangement that Abhimanyu should be. Arjuna got very worked up. Next day he killed, practically wiped out 3/4 of the army of Duryodhana. Yes? See how managed anger. Because anger has to be used in the service of Krishna. You follow my point? That doesn't mean that we should employ anger, or we are, devotees, we should not try to. But if it has to be used in Krishna's service, yes. But that does not mean that you use anger in Krishna's service and you go all out and blow your top and this and that. No. That has to be managed. Therefore, Guru is very important. The disciple is never independent. He's always dependent. If he's dependent, then he gets protected from lust, he gets protected from anger, he protected from grief, he gets protected, all these things he gets protected. Are you following? That's why spiritual master is very important. I've shown verses how spiritual master will help you control your mind. Spiritual master will help you control your intelligence. How he helps you control your false ego. I've shown many verses, I think. Yes? So therefore, saintly personalities, actually they don't want to put anybody in trouble. That is not their nature. As Krishna explained that in Bhagavad Gita, correct? You know the verse, right? 12? What's the verse? 12 what? 12, 17. Yo na rishyate na tvesti, na sochate na kanchate, subha subha parityagi. 12:15. I know this one, no divided local. Yasman no divijet loko, lokan no divijet te chaya. Harshamash bhayotvegai, muktaya sacha me priyaha. Explain here. By whom no one is put into difficulty, who is not disturbed by anyone, who is equiposed in happiness and distress, fear and anxiety, is very dear to him. So a devotee should not put others in difficult. You follow? He should not put others in difficult. In fact, it's further explained by Krishna to Uddhava. He explained further what the verse. You say you're studying now 11th canto. What is it? Come on. What is it? Huh? See here, this Krishna explained this even more elaborately, the same point. Sri Bhagavan Vacha Kripalu Akrita Drohas Tikikshu Sarva Dehinaham Satyasaro Nvadhatyat Samaha Sarvopa Karakaha Kame Ahatadi Danto Mrithu Suchi Akinchanaha Aneho Mitta Bhuk Santaha Stiro Ma Charano Muni Apramoto Gabiratma Dritiman Jitasat Kunaha Amani Manantaha Kalyo Maitra Karunaika Kavihi Agyanai Agya Evam Gunadosham Maya Distan Apiswatan Dharman Satyayasya Sarvam Mam Bhajate Sa Sattamaha. Again, same, Sattama. So here this verse explains very detailedly about what we are talking about today's verse. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said of Uddhava, a saintly person is merciful and he never injures others. Is that point? Even if others are aggressive, he is tolerant and forgiving towards all living entities. His strength and meaning in life come from truth itself. He is free from all envy and jealousy, and his mind is equal in material happiness and distress. Thus he dedicates his time to working for the welfare of all others. Understand this point? Even though they are not favorable. His intelligence is never bewildered by material desires, and he has controlled his senses. Very important. He has controlled his senses. His behavior is always pleasing, never harsh, and always exemplary. And is free from possessiveness. He never endeavors in ordinary worldly activities. He strictly controls his eating, and he therefore always remains peaceful and steady. A saintly person is thoughtful and accepts me as his only shelter. Such a person is very cautious in execution of his duty and is never subject to superficial transformation because he is steady and noble. Even in distressing situations, he has conquered over the 6 material qualities, namely hunger, thirst, lamentation, illusion, old age, and death. He is free from all desire for prestige and offer honors to others. He is expert in reviving the Krishna consciousness of others and therefore never cheats anyone. Rather, he is well-wishing friend to all, most merciful. Being most merciful, such a saintly person must be considered the most learned of men. He perfectly understands that ordinary religious activities prescribed by me in various Vedic scriptures possess favorable qualities that purify the performer. And he knows that neglect of such duty constitutes a discrepancy in one's life. Having taken complete shelter at my lotus feet, however, a saintly person ultimately renounces such ordinary religious activity and worship me alone. is thus considered to be the best among all living entities. Get the point? Huh? So saintly personality means, of course, we all are now practicing the saintly path. So our duty is to what? Completely control our senses. So this is a very important point. If we don't have the mercy of the Guru, then our senses will go wild, finished, uncontrolled. That's why Guru is very important. So that when you go out of hand, he will check. Hey, stop it. Just like here in this case. Hey, stop it. You're going too much. Correct? But if you don't have a Guru, who to tell you? Nobody to tell you. You'll do anything and go out of hand, control, finish, kill yourself, finish. So many problems. You understand? Huh? That's why you want to come to the Brahma-bhuta planet. This word, Brahma-bhuta. Yes? Right. Again, the same point is elaborated in the Bhagavad Gita. In this verse. Bodhaya Vishuddhya Yukto Dhrityatmanam Niyama Cha Saptadin Vishayam Tyaktva Ragadveshe Yudhas Cha Vivikta Sevi Lagyasi Yata Vakaya Manushaha Dhyana Yoga Paro Nityam Vairagyam Samupasthitaha Ahankaram Balam Darpam Kamam Krodam Parigraham Vimuchya Nirmama Shanto Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. Again, this is very about the same. Being purified by intelligence and controlling this mind with determination, giving up the objects of sense gratification, being free from attachment and hatred, one who lives in a secluded place, who eats little, who controls his body, mind and power of speech, is always in trance, who is detached from false ego, false strength, false pride, lust, anger, and acceptance of material things, free from false proprietorship and peaceful, such a person is certainly elevated to the position of self-realization. See this point? Control. So, you cannot become a saintly person if you don't control your senses, you don't control particularly your mind, which is the cause of all this difficulty. It starts with the mind, no? What is that? Jayata Vishaya. Jayata means what? The mind. Understand? And mind cannot be controlled if you don't have a Guru. That I already shown many times, the verse 5, 11, 17. It's not possible to handle this mind. The uncontrolled mind is the greatest enemy of the living entity. If one neglects it or gives it a chance, it will grow more and more powerful and become victorious. Although it's not factual, very strong, it covers the constitutional position of the soul. O king, please try to conquer this mind by the weapon of service to the... See? Conquering the mind, two. Weapon of service to the lotus feet of spiritual master and of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Do this with great care. So if we want to manage our anger, then this is the only way. If we don't want to manage our anger, then that's another question. Then it will become, you will go crazy, that's all. If you cannot manage your mind, you will go what? You will go crazy. And these are all consequences. How it works, one thing after one thing after one. You follow? So all this is all very important. That's why we are taking shelter of the spiritual master, following his instruction very seriously. Every day, waking up in the morning, chanting, Although we are tired, whatever, seek, no question. Up and, follow, push. Because if you don't do it, that's why I say do this with great care. If you don't do this, then bad qualities will develop. All the bad qualities. Bad qualities means what? Mind go out of lust, lust, anger. 3 gateway to hell, right? What is that? Three gateways. This is the gateway if you want to go to different direction. Trividam narakeshedam dvaram nasanamatmanaha ama krodastata lobha tasmat etat Tyajan. There are 3 gates leading to this hell. Lust, anger and greed. Every sane man should give this up, for they lead to the degradation of the soul. Exactly what is today's verse. If you don't control your anger, you become dreadful. Others. And you become dreadful, your life will be, you go to degradation. Are you understanding? Is it clear? Those who have a spiritual master and cannot control their anger, that means not listening to spiritual master. If you are a spiritual master and if you are still going out of hand, that means you are not listening. If you listen to spiritual master, then you will go above the modes. Correct? And if you go above the modes, then easily you will control the... Yes? I show you. That means you are not having spiritual master. Yes? One must conquer the mode of passion and ignorance by developing the mode of goodness, and then one must become detached from the mode of passion by promoting oneself in the mode of Shuddha Sattva. All this can be automatically done if one engages in the service of the spiritual master with faith and devotion. In this way one can conquer the influence of the mode of nature. Because there's another verse also, all the bad qualities. 7:15. 7:15? Yes. All of you now very expert, you know everything. No, not this. In conditioned state, one conception of life is sometimes polluted by passion and ignorance, is exhibited. So if you know, if you are in passion, then you exhibit. What you exhibit? First thing, attachment. Jayato Vishaya Pumsam. Right? Attraction, yes. And then what? Hostility. Immediately you are what? Inimical, yes? Hostile. You don't like, you just don't like, you hate all these things, well. Then what? Greed, lamentation, illusion, fear, madness, false vestige, insult, fault finding, deception, envy, intolerance, passion, bewilderment, hunger and sleep. All these are enemies. Sometimes one conception also polluted by goodness. So then you go on the next verse. The only way you can, what is this verse? As long as one has to accept a material body with its different parts and paraphernalia, which is not fully under one's control, one must have the lotus feet of his superior, namely his spiritual master and his spiritual master predecessor. One must. What? You cannot say, I don't want. What? That's why Prabhupada said, Sa eva guru, what is that? Eva vigaccha. Tat vijnanartha sa guru eva vigaccha. Must. You understand? Must. That means if you have no guru, that means you are a wild horse.
Many people say it is all wild horse. Because Prabhupada is not here. They can do anything they like. It's a good person. And it seems to be happening also.
Huh?
The retreats themselves are doing that. These wild things.
I don't think so. If you are managed properly, you must have good association.
Repeat the question in the mic.
Or maybe you can get the mic and talk loudly.
Online.
You can talk loudly. The Ritviks are independent. They are like wild horses. They are full of anger. They don't have a guru. This is the accusation.
They say Prabhupada is the guru, but then actually they do their own thing.
You see, when Prabhupada was around, many of the temples, Prabhupada was not physically dealing with any devotees. So that was done by the managers, the temple authorities, and the GBC. They're deputed by him. So for the Ritviks right now, of course, if you just claim to be a Ritvik and you're doing on your independent thing, that definitely be not very conducive. Even the Ritviks are to stay under an authority. Who is the authority? If you say Prabhupada is my authority and I don't accept anybody else, that means you're not acting under Prabhupada direction. Work with some authority. As we have just showed you one verse, a devotee should always try to hear about spiritual matters and should always utilize his time in chanting the holy name of the Lord. His behavior should always be straightforward and simple, and although he is not envious, but friendly to everyone, he should avoid the company of persons who are not spiritually advanced. So he has to seek, in other words, people who are what? Spiritually advanced. You follow? You cannot just say, Prabhupada, yes, Prabhupada is definitely going to be guiding you. But you have to keep, it is explained here. One should learn how to associate with the devotees of the Lord by gathering with them to chant the glories of the Lord. This process is most purifying. As devotees develop their loving friendship, they feel mutual happiness and satisfaction. And by thus encouraging one another, they are able to give up material gratification, which is the cause of all suffering. So in other words, if you are Ritvik or not Ritvik, anything, if you don't keep association with devotees, then you cannot become purified. You follow? Even it's explained in another verse that even if you claim you are second class devotee, what is that? 22? Yes, many people claim they are very advanced, second class, they are preachers. A first-class devotee has firm conviction in the revealed scriptures and expert in arguing according to the Shastra. If he is firmly convinced of the science of Krishna consciousness. The Madhyam Adhikari or second-class devotee has firm conviction in Krishna consciousness, but he cannot support his conviction by citing Shastric reference. The neophyte devotee does not yet have any firm faith. In this way, the devotees are typed. The standard of devotion is also categorized in the same way. A neophyte believes that only love of Krishna or Krishna consciousness is very good, but he may not know the basis of pure Krishna consciousness or how one can become a perfect devotee. Sometime in the heart of a neophyte there is attraction for karma, jnana and yoga. When he is free and transcendent to the mixed devotional activity, he becomes second-class devotee. When he becomes expert in logic and can refer to Shastra, he becomes first-class devotee. The devotees are also described as positive, comparative and superlative in terms of their love and attachment for Krishna. It should be understood that a Madhyama Adhikari, a second-class devotee, fully convinced of Krishna consciousness but cannot support his conviction with Shastric reference. A neophyte may fall down by associating with non-devotees because he is not firmly convinced and strongly situated. The second-class devotee, even though he cannot support his position with Shastric reference, can gradually become a first-class devotee by studying the Shastras and associating with a first-class devotee. However, if a second-class devotee does not advance himself by associating with a first-class devotee, he makes no progress. You understand? Association is important at every stage of one's life. Are you following? There's no possibility of first-class devotee falling down. He will fall down, even though he may mix with non-devotees to preach. Understand? Conviction and faith gradually increase to make one an Uttamadhikari, first-class devotee. In other words, you cannot become advanced first-class devotee if you do not associate with first-class devotee. So the system has been given by Prabhupada to us. The Ritviks are claiming that they are Prabhupada. No, but the system is that there should be a temple. A devotee should associate with temple. They should go to the programs. And whoever the leader there, they should work with it. Especially if you attend the morning program, Mangalarti, chanting your rounds, hearing the class, as given by Prabhupada, then you make advancement. Because it's system given by Srila Prabhupada. But if you don't follow this system, you say you are a disciple of Prabhupada, and you stay at home or stay anywhere and just do anything on your own, then it will be difficult. Because on your own means you are with your mind. And that's dangerous. You follow? So this thing has to be understood properly. Not that whimsically I become a Ritvik and I do what I like. Prabhupada is my guru, nobody can tell me what to do. You understand? This is bogus. There should be an authority. If you think that you are very advanced, of course that symptom is also here. If you are falling down means what? Advanced? How do you know you are not falling down? In 7, I think. Yes. When one who failed to control his senses immediately feels attraction upon seeing a woman's form. This is the test. If you are getting into this problem, means what? Means what? You are first class. What? There's all Shastra. You cannot. That's now we read, right? Even though he is preaching to one, he cannot be disturbed. That is further explained here. midnight. Nervous. Something is wrong. Blank. What happened? Oh, here. It's coming here. The influence of material nature cannot harm an enlightened soul, even though he engages in material activities, because he knows the truth of the Absolute and his mind is fixed on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prabhupada always quote this verse. Which verse Prabhupada quotes? Tell me, which verse? Which verse? Come on, come on. About why a pure devotee cannot fall. Which verse? Huh? Yes, one, but
Devotees are Uddhava.
come on. Ye anye arvindaksha vimuktamaninas tvat astabhavat avishuddha buddhayaha aruya krachena parampadam tata patanti adaho nadata yusmat ingrayaha. This is the point, Prabhupada always put this point. Someone who says that aside from devotees who always seek shelter at the lotus feet, there are those who are not devotees but who have accepted different process of attaining salvation. What happened to them? In answer to this question, Lord Brahma and the other demigods say, O lotus-eyed Lord, although non-devotees accept severe austerities and penance to achieve the highest position, may think of themselves as liberated, their intelligence impure. They fall down from their position of imagined superiority because they have no regard for your lotus feet. One who has captured the lotus feet of the Lord, there's no question of him falling down. You understand this? That's why the first class devotee. A first class devotee is constantly thinking of Krishna. You understand this point? Unless we have captured the lotus feet of Krishna, there's no question of a first class devotee not only captured, he's always seeing and talking to Krishna. Understand? So you cannot imitate. You cannot try to what? This is another problem. Not only the other camp, but even in the Ritwik camp, many people talk like this. I'm equal to everybody. I see everybody as friend, and I don't hate anybody. This is imitating a first class devotee. You understand? You cannot imitate. It is explained in the Nectar of Instruction, Mantra 5. Yes? Anyone who tries to imitate the first class devotee, he will fall down. Understand? This cannot artificially, simple example. I give a very simple example. When we wake up in the morning, we start to chant. Yes? Yes? Yes or not? All of us chant. Yes? The moment we stick our beat back, we're thinking, oh, now I want to control my mind and keep thinking of Krishna. And yes? What happens? What happens? Where is he going? Yes. That means what? We are not in that position. You follow? It is explained as a nectar of devotion. The one who is a devotee is constantly thinking of his what? Of Krishna. Yes. That's pure devotee. Who is in the what? The spontaneous. What is that? Spontaneous? Raganuga bhakti. That's sadhana bhakti already difficult. Waking up in the morning, chanting. Right? You understand? So how? It doesn't matter whether you are Ritvik or not Ritvik. This law applies for everybody. Doesn't mean that you're Ritvik or 10 horn. I don't know. You understand? You got a material body. You got your mind. You have to follow the principle laid out by the Acharya. You cannot change. Understand? And what is that changing? You cannot do away with your morning program. And this is the big problem. The Ritviks maybe not. Many of them have failed to follow the morning program. That's the problem. You understand? That's all. Now why, of course, our Singapore temple, we are very strict in enforcing that. And we have many visiting devotees. When they come here, what is their remark? Now you are visiting devotee. What's your opinion? What? And therefore you have no mental problem. Yes? Yes? It's clear. If you don't do these things, then you will get mentally hyped up. And then Maya will go, one thing, all desire. Lust, everything develops. You understand? So this is the process. Not only lust, anger, everything. You want to keep it under control. This is the process. And that means associating with Prabhupada. You understand? Not that Prabhupada associating means sit down and read his book and every moment hear his tape, walk around with his tape, going on 24. Huh? Huh? And then, don't follow anything. Right? I have quoted Prabhupada said, right? Reading my books, yeah, philosophy must be there. But if it's not applied in, what? Then it's of no use. No? Even Krishna also said that. What is that word? Eva sam eva agre. What is that? 2.9. 2.9 what? Thirty-one. Here. Sri Bhagavan Vacha, spoken by the Lord. Jnanam paramam guhyam me yad vijnanam samanvidam saharasyam tat angam cha grahanam gaditam maya. What does that mean? Saharasyam, the secret. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, knowledge about me as described in the scriptures is very confidential and it has to be realized in conjunction with devotional service. The necessary paraphernalia for that process has been explained by me. You may take it out carefully. You understand? So knowledge, if it is not conjunct with devotional service, then is bogus. You understand? Prabhupada is saying that. Prabhupada said, but your knowledge, if you don't do this morning program, is useless. Yes? Yes or no? You understand? You cannot just say, no, I'm Prabhupada every day in the Facebook putting a quote after quote in a cut paste, and he thinks he's become big at and sleeping in the morning. Is he sleeping? What is this? Niyama rules and regulation. Huh? That is rules and regulation and the ritual. Niyama agara. That's right. Yama niyama. They say yama niyama.
Too much following of the rules and regulations.
Yes, too much means you try to go beyond Guru.
No, waking up every day Mangalati is too much.
Oh. Then I can also say too much sleeping is going above the rule also. Same way, correct? Listen, your mind will tell you so many things. We have to follow the instruction given by sadhu, shastra, and that's all. We cannot change that. Because the mind will always find some excuse. That's the nature of the mind. I have so many verses. The mind will be easily attracted to Maya. Correct? Where's the verse? 11? The mind has a natural proclivity. 11, 13. 11, 13. 25. Yes, very good. Huh? My dear son, the mind has a natural proclivity to enter into the material sense object. And similarly, the sense object enter into the mind. That's why there has to be control. You know, Dhyayato Vishaya Pumsam, the same thing. Natural attraction. Both this material mind and the sense are merely destination. That cover the spirit soul is part and parcel of me. You understand? So we cannot listen to the mind. It's out. The moment in spiritual circle you say mind, then you're out already. Finish. My mind says so. What? Understand? Where is the verse you say too much rules and regulations to sleep in the morning is okay? Tell me. Tell me. It goes.
If you're sick, suppose if you are sick, then we push ourselves, and come to Mula and become more sick. So
Never mind. Prabhupada shall let you die also. Never mind. You die. But please come for this program. In fact, if you call here, there's good chance that you become well. In my experience, I have noticed that. I pushed and come for program and I become better. If I go the other way, sleeping, a chance to sleep, then what will happen? Maya will take over. Yes? Yes or not? Huh? There is another verse also. I think it's in the 4:22. I'll show you one. 4:22. One who deviates from his original consciousness, he loses the capacity to remember his previous position or recognize his present. When remembrance is lost, all knowledge acquired is based on false foundation. When this occurs, learned scholars consider that the soul is lost. It's all on the mental. You follow? Huh? The previous verse to this. When one's mind and senses attract the sense object for enjoyment, the mind becomes agitated. As a result of continually thinking of sense object, one's real consciousness almost becomes lost, like the water in a lake that gradually sucked up by the big grass straws on its banks. Classic example. It's clear. Any further points to add about this anger? No? Yes. That's what Durva used. Divishe, he used. But as I was saying, one point the sages came and encouraged him to kill some more, correct? When the killing was going out of control, his grandfather came and told him to stop. You better. Yes? So the devotee is always under control. He's never out of control. That's how you have to use your anger. Doesn't mean that Krishna, Kama, Arpanam, and then Krodha. We go out with the sword and start killing or doing everything whimsically. That we cannot do. In fact, previous verse to this, I think 4:11 something, excessive anger is very detrimental to. You can see 4:11 something you see. Excessive anger. 4:11 what? 7. 4:11 7. What is it? 4:11 7, huh? Very good. Yeah. See here. Lord Manu said, my dear son, please stop. It is not good to become unnecessarily angry. It is the path to hellish life. Oh, you are going beyond the limit by killing yakshas who are actually not offended. Unnecessarily angry. Huh? I thought excessive anger, the word. Yeah. Is it an excessive anger? Alright, unnecessary anger. So we have to be very careful now, and have elaborated the whole point, how to manage your anger. Unless you have a spiritual master and authority, it's very difficult to do this. It's impossible. Dangerous. Then fall down. Problem. Alright, so we stop here then. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Go Jai.